When I first heard about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I was genuinely excited. The idea for a game to be set in the DC universe, which I'm a big fan of, but when I saw that there was going to be a DC game that had a decent story and it was movement based, I was really excited. But there are some concerns that as I started to research the game, got a little bit more concerned about. For example, like the live service model was a little iffy to me, and the fact that it's always online. The fact that the game release got delayed is a little concerning, and the fact that they're not giving out review copies was also a little concerning. And so today I want to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons of the game and ask the question, should you buy Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Now, for those of you that don't know what the game is, essentially it's a game that is set in the DC universe where you will play as the Suicide Squad, playing as either Harley Quinn, Boomerang, King Shark, or Deadshot. Essentially the core game is it's a looter shooter. You're going to go in, you're going to do a quest, you're going to come out with some loot, and you're going to rinse and repeat while also following a story. Now, the story seems to be the big appeal to many people because obviously the studio made the Arkham Knight games before this game. And so one of the main concerns for people are that the actual style of the game is much different. Where the company used to make Arkham Knight games, which are pure solo story-based games, they're now going to a live service model. And so this is one of the big concerns of the game is the live service model. Now, what I will say about the live service model is that it's not all bad. That was one of the big concerns for me when I first heard about it. A live service game typically is a big red flag, but it seems like Rocksteady Studios are doing a decent job at this monetization system. Now, before you freak out, let me explain. There will be a battle pass, but the battle pass will be completely cosmetic from what they are saying. Again, I have not played the game. I don't really know, but I from what I have researched and heard from other people, this is what they were saying. So that's just already a plus that you don't have to go and buy that battle pass if you don't want to. On top of this, every season, they're going to release a new hero and a couple of chapters, which are essentially going to be more story content. And according to the developers, this seasonal content will be completely free for you, which means you don't have to go buy DLC every season. Now, that sounds amazing. In terms of live service games, that sounds like one of the best monetizations I've ever seen. Because most games, they come out, they say, here is this DLC that you should buy, and then you have to pay for it if you want to play that content. I'm a Destiny 2 player, and I'm used to that. I'm used to when a new expansion drops, I have to go buy it. But according to the developers, every single season, you're going to be able to get access to a new hero and a new story mission, all for free. That is one of the biggest cons to me out of the way. If the content that is paid for is purely cosmetic, and I only have to buy the game once to get a constant update of story and gear and game modes and characters, that is amazing. Now, there are other concerns. One of the biggest concerns for many people was the fact that the game was delayed. That is a little concerning because most of the time that a game is delayed like that, it means that they're going to have to make big changes to the game. And often those big changes ruin the original vision. And then you just get this really, really messy game. But the reason that they delayed the game was because the studio didn't feel like the game was ready to be released. And honestly, that's good news. I would rather have a company wait to make a good game and then release that game when it's good enough. And so on one hand, there is some concern that the game is delayed, and that typically isn't a good sign. But on the other hand, at least the developers are listening to community feedback and realize that things needed to be changed. Now, another concern is that they didn't give early copy reviews to many of the companies that do your game reviews, like IGN, etc. And the reason that they said that they didn't release them was because the servers weren't up. And so why would they release an early copy for someone to review if you can't even play the full game? Because after all, this is an online game. You do need to be connected to servers. Now, there will be a offline mode, just not until after launch, which that might be another concern as well. However, in terms of the game reviews, they didn't give out early copies. And that is a little concerning because it makes it feel like they're trying to hide the fact that the game might be bad. But it seems like that might not be the case because many of the playtesters that got to playtest the game are no longer under the NDA contract. So they're coming out and they're starting to talk about their experiences with the game. And many of them are really excited. All of this is just a PR mess. I don't know why this whole pre-release marketing strategy is so bad, but it seems like there's constant bad press. But then every time we turn around, it seems like it's not as bad as it seems. So yeah, they didn't give out copies for early reviews, but maybe that's not such a bad thing. Another concern is is the UI is kind of messy. And this is a small concern, but it's something that the developers should think about. When you look at gameplay, it seems messy. It seems all over the place. Another concern is some of the gameplay looks very generic. It's your typical, defend this point from enemies. If you've ever played Destiny, you'll know what it's like. But it seems like it's very generic gameplay. And that might be a turnoff to a lot of people. Because after all, if the developers want you to play this game for hours and hours on end, they need to make the gameplay not generic. It needs to be interesting enough. Yes, the new story content will still be there for you, which for a lot of people are going to be the selling point. But once that story's done, what are you going to do? There is end game content, and it seems interesting enough. But if the gameplay doesn't add anything unique, eventually it's going to get boring and it's going to flop. That is a big concern of mine, is the actual gameplay itself. Now, the movement-based gameplay looks like a lot of fun. It looks fun to move around with all these unique abilities to traverse the world. But if that's all it is, then that's a problem. Now, with all of this said, I am genuinely excited about the game. I know that there is a lot of hate surrounding this game, a lot of bad press, but from what we're seeing, Rocksteady Studios seems to be really upfront about what they're doing. They're not lying to us about some monetization scheme. They're not hiding things from us. They're not trying to make the game seem like it's some amazing, new, incredible, unique thing. They're just being honest. This is a looter shooter based in the DC universe. You're going to go in playing some of your favorite DC characters. You're going to have a good story. You're going to do some generic missions. You're going to get some loot, upgrade your character, upgrade your skill trees, and you're going to have a good time doing it. And on top of that, they're giving out free content for you. I know there is a lot of hate around this game, but it seems like a lot of people, especially the fans, are turning their mind around. I was a little skeptical at first, but after doing some research and looking more into it and seeing the updates that are happening recently, it seems like them delaying the game was actually a good choice. It seems like this game might actually not be as bad as people are making it out to be. Now, again, I am just a man. I'm just a guy with an opinion. You don't gotta listen to me. You should go and form your own opinions. If you don't want to buy the game, you shouldn't. Don't go play a game you don't want to. So, should you buy Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Well, I can't make that decision for you. It's your decision. But in this video, I hope that I raise some awareness of some of the concerns that the community has, but also some of the positives that people aren't really talking about. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go hit that like button, and there's a comment section for a reason. Go let me know about your opinions. I'm sure a lot of you are going to have spicy opinions about this topic. Let me know if you're excited. Let me know if you hate the game. I don't care what it is. You just let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. Now, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hey, Carson out.